So I was with my abuser for 8 years, and things slowly started creeping in that I felt may not have been exactly the right way. Just little comments or things that he would say to me to kind of deteriorate me and make me feel less than I was, and kind of scrutinized every little thing I would do. Before I knew it, I was starting to see more than just the verbal abuse. It was the physical abuse as well. We were on our vacation in a cabin home, and he attacked me while I was sleeping and choked me with both of his hands. I just remember scrambling, trying to just pull his hands off of me, trying to slither and try to just get away from him. And as soon as I could get away from him, then I pushed the window out, the screen window, and I just ran. So that was really the final straw. That was really what brought me. I said, I can't live this way. I almost died. I need to make a change. I wanted somebody to just kind of take my hand and just get me to where I needed to go. And the first time I called Alexander House, I'll never forget, I thought there was going to be like this roadmap of exactly how to get out of your situation.
So when someone comes in looking for services or reaching out for that first help, there's no easy answers for that. We can't have a structured plan to follow because every single solitary person is different and their situations are unique.
They said to me, they're like, we can't really tell you exactly what to do because what we tell you to do could actually harm you more than you figuring out the way to do it in your own way.
You've already been told what to do enough by your abuser. We're here to give you that boost of making your own decisions, and sometimes you might trip up, but know that it's your decisions that made those results. When we're working with someone who's escaping domestic violence or sexual violence, they are looking for so many different services. They need housing, they need income, they need legal help, they're looking for support through therapy, or they're looking for support groups.
My greatest obstacles and challenges in the moment, they seemed so big to me because the first one was my dog. A lot of the shelters that are available for us don't have the option to bring your pet. And I couldn't leave my dog behind. He also was a victim of the domestic violence himself.
Abusers will use pets against their victims. They'll threaten their lives or they'll take them without them knowing. And so a lot of times if the victims are in imminent danger and are looking for shelter, they'll turn us down because we can't house their pets.
We had Linus for many years, and he actually became kind of like a therapy dog. Anytime my son was having a problem, part of our therapy plan was to hug the dog. So that was our solution. So if that service would have been available, I would have gotten out sooner. Probably would not have found myself in that cabin struggling to breathe.
Another thing is financially starting over is really jarring to some people, and they have to learn how to do it all on their own. And it can be a huge barrier, and it also can kind of shut them down and say, forget it, I'm just going to go back because at least the bills will be paid or I'll have a roof over my head.
How do I get through all that? How do I get out of my lease? How do I bring my dog? And it just seemed like there was no answers. I had no idea how I was going to do it myself.
The victims and survivors that we work with are first confronted with law enforcement, and then they have no victim support. And so that's where we come in. And we offer the shelter, we offer the legal advocacy, we offer the therapy, we offer any sort of support or resource that they need to be safe and heal.
If you need help with, childcare, or if you need help with supplies, if you don't have money for food, there's so many endless things that Alexandra House can help with. And so that really surprised me that it was more than a shelter.
Our roles as advocates at the Alexandra House are to meet the survivors where they're at and not guide them, but give them the options they need to move forward. And it could be small steps, it could be large steps, but it's just being supportive, listening. That is a huge part of what we do, because if we're not hearing what they're saying, we're not going to be able to give them the right resources they need to succeed.
The services that I utilized from Alexandra House were the legal advocates and the therapist. The therapist was on site at the shelter. I visited once a week for about 6 to 8 months before I had graduated from the program, and she was amazing. The therapist was there for me. She listened to me, and I don't think I would be where I am today without her.
You could see the light come back into her life once the abuse was, or she was separated from the abuse and found out that she could do things on her own. There was confidence and just love and light.
The person I was before versus the person I am today, I would say the biggest difference is like I'm powerful, I'm independent, and I feel good in my own skin. I've been now able to become a public speaker on behalf and an advocate myself. And I also, help other people as well that come to me. My son's life has changed quite a bit since this time. There are some things that come up still. Sometimes it can be loud noises, or he might hear something that scares him and startles him. And also, my son is a little more protective of me, I think, because of this and our bond that we, had to create, really. Now we both are, we have a person in our life that is healthy, and we have a healthy relationship. And so right now, I would say our life is just so much better. Alexandra House provides you with a path to get you to your new life and to have, the free life that we all want to have.